Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to talk about travel routes for Uruguay. So what are the ideal itineraries for those who will stay there 3, 5, 7, 10 days, which cities to visit, how many days to stay in Montevideo, how many days to stay in Punta Del Este, is it worth the round trip, is it not? In short, all those doubts that haunt those who are planning a trip, setting up their itinerary for Uruguay. So we will answer all these questions, and there will be quick tips, useful and non-binding at all, guys. So don't forget to give us that like, that's very important. Subscribe to the channel because that really helps us a lot, and buckle up. Well, so in this script we are going from the smallest to the biggest, but you will see that it's an increment. So in the first ones, the 3-day itinerary, this is not just for people who are going to be there for 3 days. For those of you who are going to stay longer, you will do these 3 days first, then 3 more, then 3 more, then we will increase the trip piece by piece. So this video is for everybody who's putting together an entire itinerary for Uruguay and to go there. So let's go, people. The main city in Uruguay is Montevideo. It's the capital, it's the tourist capital, everybody wants to go there, and it's where most of the flights arrive. So when you are researching travel, you will see that the biggest offer of flights, the cheapest ones, are all to Montevideo. So it's the key city in the trip to Uruguay. So in our opinion, the itinerary always has to start there because the return ticket will probably be in Montevideo. Montevideo has a lot of nice things to do, guys, but I think that 3 days there you can see everything. So if you only have 3 days to make this trip to Uruguay, go on a holiday, something quick or something like that, my tip would be go to Montevideo, stay there for 3 days. It does not pay off for you to get lodging, a hotel in Punta Del Este, in Colonia del Sacramento, because of the traveling, the luggage and so on. If you want, you can use one of those 3 days to visit Punta Del Este, which is an hour and a half away by car or bus, so you can add a very nice beach destination, which is Punta Del Este, so your trip won't be so heavy because 3 days are fast and you have to make the most of your time. So you can either stay all the days in Montevideo or choose one day if you really like the beach or places that are a little more lively, more exciting, to go to Punta del Este. There are several round trips, or you can rent a car and go there. You have the possibility to go there, but the thing is, stay the 3 days in Montevideo unless you are looking for this beachy vibe, so you can go to Punta del Este for a round trip, go back and then return. Now, if you have more days, if you have about 7 days of traveling, usually the most popular tour, the one we recommend, is go to Montevideo. You can stay 4 days there and then you stay 3 more days in Punta del Este, which is a very nice place, very beautiful, and then you can enjoy it much more there. Then the 4 days in Montevideo, as it's already an extra time there, you can take one of those days if you like history, places that are a little more traditional. There is a very nice city that's 2 hours and a half away from Montevideo, which is called Colonia del Sacramento. It's the 3rd most famous tourist city in Montevideo, so if you like that idea, do some research, look at the pictures, everything. If you like that part of history, it's a very important city. You can either do the round trip from Montevideo, or you go and get there, stay 1 night, then you stay 4 days or 3 days in Montevideo, 1 night there, 2 days in Colonia, and then you go to Punta del Este. The only thing is that Montevideo is in the middle, Colonia del Sacramento on one side and Punta del Este on the other. So take a good look at the logistics so you don't have to move around too much. Usually people who are in Montevideo do a round trip, or they sleep 1 night in Colonia, come back and then go to Punta del Este, stay for 2 or 3 days, and then they come back to Montevideo. You can do this round trip back and forth because it's one on one side of the city and the other is on the other side, so you have to see very well the logistics to visit both. In all these trips, most of the tourists end up doing by car. Car rental is very common there in Uruguay for tourists. I made a video, here's a video just about car rental if you want to know it later. Documentation, all the tips on renting a car, take a look at it because it's very good. But for you to rent, it's very easy. You arrive in Montevideo, you can rent the car there, and with the car you can go to Colonia, come back, go to Punta del Este. That's what most people do. It's not expensive, there is a price comparator. I'll even leave the website website down here in the description of the video. You click here below the video on show more to see the whole description. I left all the right links there to organize the trip. One of them is the car rental comparator that compares in all car rental companies and shows the best price. So you don't need to search in all of them. It already offers you the best prices and the best car rental companies. Take a look at it because the prices end up paying off. It's usually much cheaper than the others and the roads are good. Gas is a little expensive compared to other countries, but you will not spend so much because the distances are not so long. It's a very nice road trip and we highly recommend it. It gives a charm and a very nice freedom to the trip as well. You can go where you want, whenever you want to go. And going back to the tours, these tours I'm focusing a lot on Uruguay, okay guys, because I'm talking about, of course, I'm focusing on Uruguay, but it's because many people sometimes also do the Uruguay and Argentina route, because if you see on the map, Buenos Aires is very close to Uruguay, especially to Colonia del Sacramento, that little town I mentioned. There are people who do this stretch there by car, by train, it's very close, so take a look, do some research. If you think about adding Buenos Aires, you can add it, but my recommendation is try to focus on Uruguay, because Uruguay is very nice, very cool, and then you take another trip just to see Argentina. You can separate those one on each one of the trip. And guys, any questions you may have, you can send it to us and we'll help you. It's even easier, send it there, add me on social networks at @Lorenzi, send me a direct message that I'll help you, and take the time to follow us because we're always traveling around the world, showing the trips there with our little ones in a very nice way, and our routine here in Orlando, because now we are living here in the city of Orlando in the United States and we post everything there. We show how's the life here, the parks, outlets, food, it's really cool. And there is also our new channel here on YouTube from the Lorenzi family. Visit because it's really cool. We also show all the routine. We are filming some really cool videos around here to show how this American routine is, the city, the parks, us here at home, so it's pretty cool. Check it out, I think you're gonna like it. And now for those who have more days available, 10 days, 15 days of vacation, 20, I don't know, the more the better, okay guys? Vacations can be bad. There are a few different itineraries. There's a very nice beach one, but then you have to get the climate, not only in the summer, but close to the summer, because Uruguay is very cold. When it's cold, it's there in the south, and this trip, this cold itinerary ends up not being ideal. If you take it, December and January is the peak of summer. It's the very similar one to the other countries near there, Brazil, Argentina, so try to get these months or months close to them. September, October. September is already a little bit cold. Then if you get October, November, it's very good. February, March, there is still a climate there allows you to go to the beaches, and then you can visit very nice beaches and cities that are on the other side of Punta Del Este. So you went to Punta Del Este, stayed 3 days, you have already spent 7 days doing this itinerary that we talked about in Uruguay. You can go to La Paloma, which is a very beautiful city, one of the most beautiful beaches. I think it's one of the most charming beaches in Uruguay, and it's nice because it's close to many others, so you can stay 3 more days there, or 4 days, 5, whatever, and you can visit a lot of nice beaches nearby. In 20 minutes you get to La Pedrera, which is another town, a very nice beach, very nice and worth spending a day to visit. It's very famous, very beautiful. Cabo Polonio, which is about 50 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the trip. Punta del Diablo, which is one of the most well-known and famous tourist destinations in Uruguay. It's a very nice beach. It's about an hour and a little from there. La Paloma, I thought the tourist structure was a little better. The service, I felt very comfortable there, so I think it's a very nice place to base yourself and spend the day in these cities, so it's a very enjoyable trip, people. Uruguay has a lot of things to explore, but having in mind these cities that we have commented here, you can already have a general vision of Uruguay and of which routes to take. Some people like history and stay for 3 days in Colonia do Sacramento. There are people who only like the beach, so they only go to Punta del Este, they don't even go to Montevideo, so it's more to give you an overview, and I hope I was able to help you. This is the itinerary I think is the best if you have more days or less days, but you can take a look and see which thing suits you better. And here below in the description of the video, besides the car comparator, also leave the travel insurance comparator, which is mandatory. Don't forget, after the COVID now, the measures at least today, take a good look when you go to travel. What are the restrictions? You need international travel insurance with COVID coverage, but rest assured that's very cheap. And we discovered a personal place. We have been doing it there for years. It's a very good website. It's a price comparator like the one for cars. It compares prices from all insurance companies. It's a system where you're searching all the insurance companies and it shows you the lowest prices. It's the cheapest, easiest place. You buy and print in 5 minutes. You already have the policy in your email to take printed. I'll also leave the cell phone chip, which we use to use the cell phone abroad. You will need to buy a prepaid chip or activate your international roaming from your national plan, which is usually very expensive. Research well before doing this because sometimes it costs a fortune, but the chip is the #1 option for tourists. It's cheap. They delivered it to our house when we got there. We used it with an excellent signal, and during the whole trip it helped us a lot to use Waze, Google Maps to go from one city to another, roads, tools, and finally using a cell phone today is very important. And I'll also leave a map with the best regions. We created a custom map, very nice guys, with the best region for you to stay in Montevideo, in Punta Del Este, and the hotels that we stayed in there, which we liked a lot, that are good, well located, with a good price. So take a look at these hotels. They are very good. If you can get a good price on the day you're going, you can guarantee that you're gonna have a great stay. And that's it guys, I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please don't forget to give us that like and subscribe to the channel because that really helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the video on how to travel very cheaply to Uruguay. It's a very good video that we made teaching all the tips for you to plan the whole trip, saving the most on everything. It's very good. I'll leave it here above and below the playlist with all the other videos from Uruguay for you to watch. So thank you very much guys, and have nice trips.